Conservative new media viewers, Jeremy Lin fans around the world, LA Lakers fans around the world, what's up? It's me, PFE, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. We're here to discuss the Lakers' 92-80 defeat today to the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden, New York City. And I tell you, they made the Knicks look like I don't know, some type of championship-level team, although as Doc Hirsch pointed out on Twitter, the Knicks have been on a little bit of a roll lately, so we do have to give them credit for that. Let me just say one thing, and I this is not what I usually do, but I'm just going to say it now because I'll forget it. There was somebody that came into the comments of one of our videos a few days ago, and I can't remember who it is, but I banned the person because they came in and they were taking shots at me, which I don't care about that. I don't care about that. But then they started talking about me hypnotizing people and all this type of stuff. They were upset with me because they thought that I wasn't telling the truth about Jeremy Lin. Like I was giving Byron Scott too much credit and stuff like this. Look, just to let you know what happened, if you're watching this video, although you told me you don't watch the videos anymore, but somehow you appeared in the comments. Again, you can say whatever you want about me, but you're taking shots at commenters and hypnotizing. It's just like, come on, dude. I mean, nobody has time for that. So I just wanted to say that just in case that person doesn't understand why they got banned. Usually people get banned because they're racist or they're just harassing other commenters. So we don't ban that many people, but every now and then we have to do it. Okay, what happened in this game was the Lakers got beat down. That's basically what happened for a lot of this game. They were down by 13 points after the first quarter. They were down by 8 points going into half. And then by the end of the third quarter, they were down by 15 points. They really just... they didn't get any kind of groove. They just looked terrible. This is one of the worst games I've seen in a long time by both teams, but particularly by the Lakers. Now, you can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it tanking. You can call it evaluating young talent. You can call it showcasing guys for trades. Whatever it is, the Lakers aren't putting their best players out on the court. And today was just... There's a lot of isolation basketball, not a lot of sharing the ball. It's not that the Lakers didn't try hard. They just didn't play smart at all. And the Knicks had more effort, and they played more as a team. And it's just, it's going to be really difficult to watch this type of basketball for 34 more games. It's just, it's brutal. And, I mean, that's kind of what it was. So I'll discuss it a little bit more here in a second. Let's go over the statistics quickly. Carmelo Anthony, 31 points, 8 rebounds. Langston Galloway, 13 points, 5 rebounds, a starting shooting guard for the Knicks, who's kind of been making a name for himself in the last week or two. Lou Amundsen, 6 points, 13 rebounds. For the Lakers, they were led by Carlos Boozer off the bench, 19 points, 10 rebounds. Jordan Clarkson, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. Wesley Johnson, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Those were the only 3 Lakers in double figures. Ed Davis, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Ed had a pretty good game. He was pretty active. He made some smart plays, including some smart passes, which gave him the 4 assists. He had some nice plays in this game. Jeremy Lin, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. Jeremy played 24 minutes, 1 of 3 from the field, including 0 of 1 from the three-point line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 steals, no block shots, 4 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, and his plus-minus was a +0. Only 2 Lakers had positive plus-minuses statistics, and that was Wes Johnson +13 and Ed Davis -5. And Jeremy was the only other Laker that didn't have a negative plus-minus value. Plus-minus means that when you're on the floor, your team, it's the net of how many points your team scores when you're on the floor versus how many points they give up. So if you score 30 points and the opponent scores 20 points while you're on the court, you are plus 10. And that's how it works. Okay, how did Jeremy do in this game? He did, overall, I thought he played pretty well. I know a lot of people on Twitter didn't think he played that well, thought he was a little indecisive. Look, the big thing is the turnovers. I think 2 of them weren't that bad and 2 of them weren't that good. He almost had a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, 7-4, not quite 2-to-1. And certainly, he was the only person on the Lakers who was distributing the ball. I mean, Ed Davis ended up with 4 assists, but Ed's not a playmaker. He's kind of he's the guy that's the middleman for a hockey assist, meaning someone passes to him and then he passes to someone else. But he's not a guy that initiates plays for assist. The starters of the Lakers in this game, and I said this on Twitter, the starters of the Lakers in this game had 1 assist for the entire game. It was Jordan Clarkson, and that assist did not come until about 3 minutes left in the third quarter. It was a jump shot hit by Ryan Kelly off a Jordan Clarkson pass. And so the starters had 1 assist, and they had 6 turnovers. I mean, that should tell you about everything you need to know about how the starters did in this game. The bench of the Lakers had 13 assists and 8 turnovers. Not perfect, but certainly it's a positive, or it's greater than 1 assist-to-turnover ratio rather than 1-6, 1/6 assist-to-turnover ratio as the starters. It's like I said, that the Lakers aren't playing to win. It's as simple as that. The guys are trying to win when they're on court, but the guys that are being put on the court aren't the guys who are giving the Lakers the best chance to win. And so that's what it is. And it's, like I said, we got 34 more games of this. So it's going to be it's going to be challenging to watch a lot of this type of basketball. Now, I know that I said on Twitter that they're promoting Jordan Clarkson, which they clearly are. Look, I like Jordan. I've said that before. I've defended Jordan many times. He's a good player. He's a very talented player athletically. He has a long way to go. He's not a superstar, at least not yet. And if you're going to try to sell the Lakers fan base Jordan Clarkson for the next 34 games, I think that's going to be pretty tough. I think that could be a difficult sell. In other words, if you want to make Jordan something like the face of the franchise for the rest of this season, because Kobe is out, and you're going with the youth movement, I don't know if that's going to work, is how I can say it. As we've noted before, the Lakers did sell out their last 3 games at home, which is good, without Kobe. That's impressive. But while I was watching the game, and I was watching the Time Warner Cable Sportsnet feed, and they did a commercial for Backstage Lakers, which is one of the series that they do on the network. The network's basically a Lakers network. And they were promoting Clarkson there, which is, that's fine. I have no problem with that. You should promote him. But it's like I said, it's at halftime they were talking about him, Worthy and Ori, and they were saying, they were kind of pumping him up, and he's got a bright future, everything. They got to sell the future now, the Lakers do, because they can't sell the present. And so the way that looks like they're going to package selling the future is by putting Jordan Clarkson out front. Like I said, I hopefully that works out. I mean, look, he played pretty well today. He played great, but he played well. He did. He had a good game. Or pretty good. I mean, you could say he only had one assist, and there are a lot of people that think Jordan would be a better shooting guard than a point guard. I think that's the case. I agree with that. But it's a tall task to try to put the franchise possibly on Jordan's back for the next 34 games in terms of how you're going to promote the product. We'll see. I mean, look, you got to work with what you got. It does seem more and more the case that, either they're completely clear what they got with Jeremy, and so they don't need to play him more, or else Jeremy's not in the future plans. And if I had to pick between those two, I would say Jeremy's not in the future plans. That's what it looks like. So it's just difficult. If you're a Lin fan, probably the best thing that could happen for Jeremy is for him to get traded before the trade deadline. I don't know if that's going to happen, and I doubt it'll happen. We'll see. If there is a team that wants to clear out some cap space this upcoming summer, they want to have a bunch of money coming off the books, then maybe they trade for him. If not, it's not going to happen. So we'll see how it works out. Okay, look, I'm just going to quickly go through quarter by quarter. This game, like I said, there just weren't a lot of high moments in this game for the Lakers. It just was not. It was an ugly game to watch. It was played sloppily. There wasn't a lot of ball movement. It's just challenging to watch if you like watching good basketball, if you like seeing competitive basketball. Okay, Jeremy came into the game for Wayne Ellington with 5 minutes and 28 seconds left in the first quarter, and at that point the score was 13-6 for the Knicks. Jeremy got a big round of applause. Of course, New York was where Linsanity 1.0 took place, and that's where it all began for Jeremy Lin, essentially, in his second year in the league. Right after he came in, he had an assist to Ryan Kelly for a three-pointer. Then he had an assist to Jordan Clarkson for a three-pointer. And then Jordan Hill hurt his quad, hurt his thigh. Apparently, like he strained the thigh, and he left the game, and he did not return. Then Jeremy had his first turn of the game. He tried to pass the ball into the low post, and it got intercepted. The defender kind of jumped the play and anticipated it, and they got the steal. It was a good idea. It was a good idea. It just, the shot clock was low. Jeremy had to rush it, and it got picked off. Then he had his second turnover of the game. Jeremy, he went into the lane. He wanted to get fouled, which he did not. He wasn't able to draw the foul. And then when he realized he wasn't going to get fouled, then he tried to pass the ball. And that didn't work either. And then, like, while he was in the motion of trying to figure out what to do, the guy stripped him of the ball. I didn't have a real problem with that because that was an aggressive play. I mean, he was right around the basket. He was trying to make something happen. So neither one of those turnovers, I'm not going to really get too upset about either one of those. Moving on in the second quarter, Jeremy had his third assist to Carlos Boozer for a layup. Then he scored his first basket of the game on about a 7-foot jumper. Then he got his first steal of the game against Shane Larkin. Then after that, he had his fourth assist, passed the ball to Ed Davis for a dunk. Then he had a blown assist to Carlos Boozer for a missed jump shot. Okay, then on the Time Warner Cable Sports Net feed, they were showing highlights of Lin against the Lakers back in the Linsanity days in New York. That was the game in which Jeremy scored 38 points, and the game that he regards as the best game of his career. And so they were showing that, and that was pretty cool. Also early in the second, third turnover of the game, this was a miscommunication. Jeremy saw Wayne Ellington cutting to the corner, and so he put a bounce pass where Wayne Ellington was going to be, but Wayne Ellington stopped cutting. He cut off the route that he was running. And so, said those three turnovers, two of them, I guess, could have been prevented, but they weren't bad turnovers. They weren't really bad passive turnovers. Okay, middle of the second, Jeremy missed his first shot. It was an isolation play. He kind of did a one-on-one move, did a step-back jump shot that was pretty short, and then he missed his second and final field goal attempt of the game. It was a three-point try from about 35 degrees right of the top of the arc. Then he got lucky on a play. He almost turned the ball over. He was in transition, and he got caught up in the air, and he wanted to pass the ball to Tariq Black, but Tariq Black had turned around. And so what Jeremy ended up doing was hitting the ball off of Tariq Black's back and then getting the ball himself after that happened. Jeremy got the ball back. So he was fortunate on that play. Soon after, he had his fifth assist of the game to Wesley Johnson for a made jump shot. And then Jeremy came out of the game with 5 minutes and 21 seconds left in the second quarter, and the Knicks lead was only 5 points. So that was a kind of almost a little insanity roll. Cut the lead down to 5, and now I put a note that says, time for Byron to tank, which means it's time for Jeremy to come on out so that the team can fall behind further, which is exactly what happened to them. Late in the second quarter, with 43 seconds left in the second quarter, the Lakers were shooting 25% for the game. They had hit 10 field goals out of 40 attempts. That's just horrible. I mean, a lot of these shots were wide open. They just couldn't hit anything. It was just like I said, it wasn't good basketball. At half, 47-39 Knicks, so they had increased that 5-point lead back up to 8, and since Jeremy went to the bench. Then the halftime talk on Time Warner Cable Sportsnet was James Worthy said that the Lakers bench has been saving the Lakers all season, which is 100% correct. We all know that. We've discussed many times the plus minus of the bench versus the starters. It was the same thing when Kobe was playing. That's the way it's been all season. And I have mentioned before, you do need a good bench. You do need a good bench to win in the NBA. However, if your bench is better than your starters, then that could be a problem. But now it's not a problem if your goal is to lose games. Then you don't want good starters. So Stu Lance, our old friend Stu, praised Jeremy Lin. Also at halftime, he said Jeremy Lin came in and had a big contribution, which he did. It was nice to hear Stu say that. We've discussed Stu and his comments about Jeremy this year. And then Mike Trudell, the sideline reporter, said that the coaches mentioned to him at halftime that the team had poor ball movement, and particularly so among the starters. The bench was slightly better. Okay, middle of the third, 63-56 Knicks, 4 minutes and 37 seconds left. Jeremy then came in for Wayne Ellington. So Byron was doing the same substitution pattern that he did in the last game, which is in the first quarter and in the third quarter, Jeremy comes in to sub out Wayne Ellington. So at that point, Jeremy's playing shooting guard, and he's on the floor with Jordan Clarkson. And then at the start of the second quarter and the start of the fourth quarter, Jeremy's on the floor, but now Jordan Clarkson is out, and Jeremy is on the court with Wayne Ellington, and Jeremy at that time is playing the point guard spot, which, as I said, in Byron's offense, there isn't a huge difference between shooting guard and point guard. Not a little bit, but not much in terms of the sets that they run and the offense that they run. Okay, then late in the third, this is where the starters, Jordan Clarkson, got his one and only assist of the game. He passed the ball to Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly hit a jump shot from about 17 feet away. And that was the first assist for the starters in the game, and it came with 3 minutes and 35 seconds left in the third quarter. A little bit later, Jeremy had his sixth assist. This was to Carlos Boozer, and it was a made jump shot. Now, in the last long video, I believe, or maybe the previous one, I talked about how the scorekeepers award assist. And I said that it's kind of in some ways up to their discretion. This was an assist that some scorekeepers would not have given to Jeremy. The reason I say that is he passed the ball to Carlos, and Carlos took a dribble and then shot the shot. A lot of times, if you pass the ball to somebody and they take a dribble, you won't get the assist. It's almost like they're kind of initiating their own thing. It's not always the case, but it just depends on the scorekeeper. But I was happy that Jeremy got the assist there because I thought he deserved it. Then he had a blown assist to Carlos Boozer for a missed jump shot. Then he got his fourth and final turnover of the game. He was driving along the left baseline, and he ran into Lou Amundsen. And Lou Amundsen took a charge. And when you have an offensive foul, that is credited also as a turnover. Okay, then it's so the end of three quarters, 72-57. Knicks, again, up 15 points and pretty much in cruise control at this point in time. Early in the fourth, lineup was Jeremy, Wayne, Wes Johnson, Carlos Boozer, and Ed Davis. Again, Jordan Hill was not available, so he wasn't. If he might have been on at that point, maybe not, but he just couldn't be. Then Jeremy drove hard to the basket, and he almost got into a charging call, but they called it a blocking foul, which was fortunate for him. Then he hit both free throws, and that gave him 4 points for the game, which would be his final score of the game. Then he had a hockey assist. He passed the ball to Ed Davis. Jeremy was double-teamed on a play. I think he was coming off a pick and roll with Ed. They double-teamed him hard. Ed Davis was wide open. He passed the ball to Ed Davis in the middle of the paint, and then someone collapsed on Ed Davis, so he passed the ball down right by the basket to Carlos Boozer for a dunk. That was a fantastic play by Jeremy and Ed and Carlos. That was a really, really nice play by everybody involved. And as I said, Ed is beginning to become a better interior passer, or just a better passer, period. He's getting more awareness, which is nice. Then Jeremy had a blown assist to Wes Johnson. He passed the ball almost in the right corner, and Wes had a shot. He did not take it. He instead went to fake and drive, and he traveled before he started to dribble. Then he had a really nice defensive play, did Jeremy. Wes or another Laker was beaten off of the dribble. And so whoever that man was, whoever the guy was on the Knicks that was being guarded, he had a wide open run to the basket, on the right side of the basket. Jeremy went up, challenged his shot, forced a miss layup, and the Lakers got the ball. That was a really nice play. Then he had another hockey assist, passed the ball to Ed Davis. Ed Davis saw Wes Johnson out on the three-point line. Ed passed the ball to Wes. Wes hit a three-pointer. Again, a hockey assist means an indirect assist. You do not get credit for an assist because you didn't pass the ball to the man that shot and hit a shot. but you pass the ball to the guy who then passed the ball to the guy that made the shot. And in the game of hockey, you do get an assist for that. So that's why they call it a hockey assist. And then Jeremy had his 7th and final assist of the game, passed the ball to Ed Davis for a layup that was goaltended. It was blocked, but it was a goaltend, and that was in transition. That was a really nice play. And the Lakers were starting to make a run here now. They were on a 7-0 run, and they had cut the deficit down to 14 points. And I don't think they got a lot closer to that, and I don't think Jeremy was on the court a lot longer than that, so they didn't really have a chance. Then another blown assist to Carlos Boozer to a missed jump shot. Then an assist for a foul to Ed Davis, meaning he passed the ball to Ed. Ed was going to dunk the ball, but he was fouled instead, got free throws. Then with 5 minutes and 1 second left, the Knicks were up by 18 points, 86-68. Jeremy came out of the game for the final time, and that was essentially it. The lead did get down to 12 points from 18, but it was kind of like the Knicks just didn't care. They knew they won, and they weren't even trying that hard. And Jordan Clarkson hit a three-pointer with literally like 2 seconds left. So it made it look a little bit better, a little bit nicer, but they really didn't have much of a chance. They had something going in the second quarter. When Jeremy was on the court and the team cut the lead down to about 5 points, then they had something. But soon after that, Jeremy was pulled out of the game. And it went from there. I'm not saying it was the only reason that things got away from the team, but they went downward after that happened. So that's about it. Look, this is probably what this team is going to be this year. It's probably going to be a lot of exactly what you saw today. They're going to put out guys like Sacre, who's not that great. They're going to put out guys like Clarkson, who has a lot of talent, but he's still inexperienced and is going to make a lot of mistakes. And they're probably going to lose a lot of games. And hopefully some of the games will be more enjoyable to watch than this game was. As I said, the Lakers are now 13-35. And if they're not mathematically on course to have their worst season ever in terms of winning percentage, they're very close. And if they continue to play like this, then they're have a very good chance of achieving that, or I don't know if achieving is the right word for it, but accomplishing or recording that worst season ever. Which, look, they need to keep their pick. They want to keep their pick, the first-round pick. I think it has to be in the top 5 or something like that. So it does make sense for them to tank in certain respects. They do need to evaluate the team, who they're going to keep around. Kobe's not around. Julius Randle's not around. So this isn't totally unexpected. It's just, it's not very fun to watch. It's annoying just to know that you're not playing your best players, and you get a lot of bad basketball, and that's exactly what happened today. So that is about it. Look, I actually thought Jeremy played pretty well today. I know a lot of people did not think he played well today. I thought he played pretty well today. I thought he was one of the only Lakers that played halfway decently in this game. He wasn't perfect. He could have been a little bit more decisive. If he had two fewer turnovers, I would have been happier. But he was the only person, like, even halfway competently running the offense and distributing the ball. So he did what he could. It was kind of like, if you're on the Titanic and it's sinking and you're the only one that's taking a bucket and pouring water over the side. That's kind of what it was, I think, for him today. And it's just, you can only do so much. And I'm sure it gets frustrating after a while. Okay, that's it. Thumbs up, thumbs down, your comments below. We encourage you to come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group. You'll find information for the group in the video description below the video player. You'll also find information about how you can come and follow us on Twitter. we definitely encourage you to do that. If you want to get the latest or the initial thoughts on the game, a lot of times I will put stuff on. I will be on Twitter when the games are on and talking about stuff. So you'll hear that. You'll know exactly when the videos are up, which is that's the main reason why I created the Twitter in the first place. So that information also in the video description below the video player, as well as a link for highlights to this game and information about Gary Chen, who is the artist who made the picture that you're looking at right now. Gary is an artist and blogger in Taiwan, and he is a member of the Jeremy Only Lin Garden fan group, which is a great group of people that is based in Taiwan but has members all over the world. So you come and find out more about Gary and on Facebook. So you may communicate with him there. Tell him hello. Tell him that you love his artwork, because his artwork's great. Once again, I am PFV Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. One more thing, let's talk about the next game. Next game will take place in 3 days from now, so the Lakers have 2 days off, Monday and Tuesday. And that game will be against the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, February 4th, so 5 p.m. Pacific, and 9 a.m. on Thursday, February 5th in Taiwan, the Philippines, and in China. Milwaukee's a good team. They're not a great team, but they're a good team. That's going to be a difficult game. It's on the road. Jason Kidd has the team playing well. I think that the team has had a few injuries, including to their top rookie, whose name I can't remember right now. Parker, I believe. And so that hurts, but they're playing well. They're in the playoff run. They're not. I think they're number 6 in the East, and they are over 500. So that's going to be a challenging game. That's going to be a challenging game. Let's see. Hopefully, we'll get a better performance than we saw today. Just a more entertaining game, and hopefully, the Lakers can get a win. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Lin fans, hang in. I don't think I don't remember what the record was in Golden State his first year there. In New York and Houston, they made all 3 of those teams made the playoffs, I believe. So, including the first year in Houston, I think, didn't they? Or did they not? I can't remember right now. Jeremy's never been in this situation before, I don't think, where it's just tank. And I'm sure that's difficult for him. Look, it happens. It's another thing he can learn from, and the key for him is to stay disciplined during this period of time. That's one of the reasons why I was happy with how he played today. He was relatively disciplined compared to some of the other players. He wasn't taking wild shots. He didn't just go for his. He played smart, relatively smart basketball. And that's not easy to do when y'all know that the team's not going to win, so everybody wants to look good and pad their own stats. So I thought Jeremy did a good job of playing the way he should play in this game today. So hang in there. We got 34 more games of this, unless Jeremy's traded. And so stay healthy, continue to work on your own game, play well when you get your minutes, and start looking and thinking about what he wants to do in the future coming up. So that is it for now. Take care. Hope you're all having a great night, a great day, wherever you are around the world when you watch this video. It's pretty cold here in the Northeast where I am at. Miko was asking me what the weather is. The weather is super snow right now. We're just getting started for a big snowstorm where I am at. We're supposed to get like 6 to 12 inches or 8 to 12, so that'll be fun. I'm not a winter person at all. I don't really ice skate or ski or any of that stuff. I used to, just not my thing. I'm much more of a warm weather person, so it's just getting through the winter. That's how I look at it. But if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, hope you're having a great summer. Fun. Australian Open men's final earlier today in the United States. And, of course, we also congratulate Serena Williams. Kenya mentioned Serena. Look, Serena's at 19 titles. I can't remember how many Steffi had, 22 or 24. Serena's got a chance. She looked great. She looked great in that tournament. So there is definitely a chance she can get it. And so we certainly congratulate her. We congratulate Novak Djokovic. That was some fun tennis. I felt bad for Andy Murray, but Novak's a heck of a player. And so it looked nice and warm and sunny down there in Melbourne, Australia. So enjoy the summer while it's there and don't get too hot. Okay, take care. We will talk to you again in a couple of days, and we'll look for you on Twitter and in the comments below.